decided that you want to move to Costa Rica, but every time you go to Facebook and social groups, all you keep finding is differing opinions and you don't know which way is up. You find yourself confused, more anxious, and more overwhelmed than when you even started. Well, this video is for you. Welcome to All In for Costa Rica. I'm Keena Slade, and so today's topic is kind of sexy. Honestly, it's not sexy, but it's something that you need to understand if you want to get around the confusion and the things that you see on social media when you're trying to get advice about where to live in Costa Rica, what's the best place, and a lot of general questions. The topic today is actually called phases. And so what I want to talk to you about is how each phase and each decision at a phase will determine actually a good result or a not so good result. So let's jump in. As people are getting excited to move to Costa Rica, they enter a phase. And whether they know it or not, they're in a particular phase that's actually going to direct the outcome of how they proceed to the next phase. Now, I like to use this illustration of phases because it helps clarify why people run into problems and why other people are successful. So if you're at phase 0, that means you're the person that's asking the question saying, hey, is Costa Rica or Mexico? Is it Costa Rica or France? Or is it Costa Rica or is it just the next state over? You really haven't decided, to go to Costa Rica. And so when you look at, and have general questions, what's the best place to move in Costa Rica? It's actually like asking, what is the best place to move in the United States? If you're from New York, you're only going to say New York. If you're from Ohio, maybe you'll say Ohio. Go Buckeyes. Whatever it is, you're going to have a different opinion or a different answer depending on who you ask. And so when you're at phase 0, you're really in the exploring phase. You really don't actually, you haven't found the thing that makes you want to, this is it and this is the place for me. This is the thing that I want to do. I want to move to Costa Rica. And so your questions get a lot of answers, especially on social media, that you may find interesting and you may be repelled or overwhelmed by. And so that is phase 0. So phase 1 is the phase that honestly I love to help people with because honestly I remember the stress and the anxiety because I had made the decision that I was going to move to Costa Rica. And I put a date on it, I had to actually visit, and so phase 1, let's be clear, you don't actually have to be here. You've either, that Costa Rica's it, you're trying to get your boots on the ground, or you visit once or twice, and you're in that range. And so you're in the beginning process. But the one thing that they have in common is that they decided that Costa Rica was going to be the place that they were going to live. And so in this phase is what I've really like to help people with. And you'll see a lot of my content directed towards the phase 1 people because it's, very close to home. And so the difference in a phase 1 and a phase 0 is the person has decided. And so in phase 1, there are particular questions that you should be asking yourself. And when you go to social media, a lot of times the phase 1 person will ask questions like, they will probably say, what's the best place to live in Costa Rica? But they actually have an intent like, okay, we're going to weed out some of the information. The mistake a phase 1 person can make is, where do I buy a house in Costa Rica? So a phase 1 person who's been here maybe one time or hasn't been here at all should not be looking for a place to buy because Costa Rica is just like the United States. Which state is the best place? Well, if you want, a lot of different things going on, maybe New York, Las Vegas is your place. But do you like the climate? One is cold in the winter and one is cooler in the winter, And so same with Costa Rica. Costa Rica has a lot of different microclimates. You can be in near the beach where maybe it's more humid, more hot, or you can be in the mountains somewhere in Central Valley and it's cooler. And so those are just some small aspects among many others outside of which I think is one of the biggest. Did you find your community there? But if you were on a mountain and you were isolated and you had no community, is that really what you were seeking? So a phase one person is going to be looking to get their boots on the ground and to find a home base so that they can explore and actually get to see parts of Costa Rica. And in my other series, I talked about a budget. So a phase one person is going to have a budget not just to get a house and not just to settle down, but a person in phase one is going to be getting a place where they can have a budget, where they can actually have the money to explore and honestly enjoy the finer parts of Costa Rica and all that it has to offer. So the next person is the person in phase two. Now, I like to characterize these people that they've already moved to Costa Rica. They're still newbies, for lack of a better word, but they're figuring it all out. They're trying to find a community. They know what they want. They know they want a community, but they're trying to find a community. They know maybe where the pharmacy is and the grocery store, but where are the other aspects of that they want to have included in their dream, in their life. Where are those things at? And so they're trying to get established, in those type of areas. They know where everything is at. They feel safe and comfortable with walking around, and yeah, they're fine with the normal baseline stuff. They know how to pay their bills. And so a phase two person is looking, okay, now that I have my boots on the ground and I've gotten 1 or 2, 3 areas, do I like this, or do I want to continue to explore? So those are the questions that they're like, visiting, or entertaining, I should say, And so what you want to realize as a phase two person is going to have different needs. And so I want to make it clear, and I'll say this probably one more time, the phase that you're in, you should be asking the correct question. A phase two person is looking to get established community. A phase one person is saying, okay, is this for me? How do I get there to find out, is it for me? Phase three. A phase three person, I just like to say they've made it. I won't say they arrived, because honestly, when you realize in life that, nobody's arrived. But to this point, they've established, they have a home. This is a phase three person. They built a home, they have a home, this is it. They know it's for them. They found the community, they established, whatever income sources that they needed. Whether it's in the country or out of the country, they're part of the community. They're making it better. They're lived here for a number of years. And so the phase three people honestly have quite a different perspective than, again, your phase one, your phase two, and honestly your phase zero type of people. And so when you are on social media and you're asking questions about where's the best place to live, and you'll see them because they'll say, I've been living here for 15 years. I love the community. They are a good inspiration to listen to. But all phases, honestly, need to be tested and personalized by yourself. Someone can give you a good recommendation to move to Costa Rica. But again, if you don't know them, you don't know what their likes and interests are, you have to just kind of balance that out. And what I mean by that is, hey, this place was recommended a few times. Let's go check it out and see if it's for me. But realizing it's what social media is that it's going to gather alike people together. So what that means, if you're going to a forum or going to a group, you're going to ask, you're going to the Flamingo Guanacaste group, what's the best place? Well, the answer is going to be Flamingo Guanacaste. But if you go to other groups, or if you go to a general group, you'll get different recommendations. And honestly, it depends on who's online and who's watching. You may not get, what you were looking for. You may get an idea, a clear idea of what you're looking for. And so a stage three person, it can be very helpful, but their perspective is different. Honestly, when I moved from phase one to, I'm moving to phase two, closer to phase two, I kind of forgot the pains of phase one, which is making me realize that, hey, this is why I want to help people in phase one, because honestly, I was the first person in my family to actually make that jump. And I didn't know anyone in Costa Rica. So when I was asking people for help, I didn't actually ask, 3s, 2s, or 1s. I was asking phase zero, people that, oh, well, I can stay here or I can move to Japan. Where should we go? And so I was asking the wrong people for advice. And so again, why it's so important to realize what phase you're in and who you're talking to is going to affect, is this good advice or not? Because honestly, there are phase zero people in your forums. They'll say Costa Rica sucks. I've never been, and you'll ask them, have you been here? Have you lived here long? They'll go, no, I never lived here. I never left the United States. Well, how can you tell another person, how Costa Rica is if you've never been there, or maybe you've only been on vacation? Well, I heard such and such. See, you're talking potentially to the wrong person in the wrong phase. And so those things actually will help guide you to understanding, like, okay, we're all in phases. What phase are you in? And so if this video made sense for you, I want you guys to comment below to put what phase you're in. And I want to see you guys along a part of this journey, because I will be providing more content for my beloved phase one people to help them to make the journey to be able to move to Costa Rica. So with that, I'll see you on the other side.